I'd like to just congratulate Coach Schmidt, his team. They came in and they were prepared. Obviously, a lot more prepared than we had our team. Older guys that came out looking desperate, playing desperate, shooting the heck out of the ball. A lot of them were contested. Some of them were open because of mistakes, especially the last couple of threes that they made. We were trying to scramble and figure out a way to create some turnovers. And they got some older, more experienced guards that really handled the pressure pretty well, didn't let us really go on any run. But I am proud of some of my guys for not giving up, continuing to fight, diving on loose balls towards the end, trying to play Fordham basketball. We just got to be able to do that a lot more consistently for more time. And it's interesting because we honestly just had two of the best practices we've had all year. We were coming in here really confident. So I give them a lot of credit because it kind of punched us in the mouth and we didn't know how to respond. So I have to do a better job getting us prepared because there's good and bad. 2 days, we get right back at it. We get another opportunity. That's the best part about basketball. So that's the way it is, and we got to come back tomorrow, keep fighting, which these guys have done, regardless if they're high or low. We always come back. They stay together, and we get after it in practice. We got to transfer getting after each other onto the floor, especially at home.
Coach, in the second half, you guys are a bit more efficient in scoring off of Bonaventure turnovers. How do you encourage you guys to keep capitalizing on things?
Yeah, we talk about just continuing to play hard, have pride in the name on the front, and we got some older guys like Kyle and Antrell, and those guys want to play as hard as they can. They never stop playing. I mean, we forced them into 17 turnovers. That's tough to do and lose by the amount of points that we did. And that's what I'm talking about. I don't think we ever quit. They were playing at a very high level. And so I'm proud of our effort on that end. We were playing harder. We just were down 17 and a half. So we had to scramble a lot and they handled those scrambles very well. And look, my man went 7 for 7. He's a 30% three-point shooter. He was hot. He shot the ball well. Sometimes that happens. And that's hard to stop once he gets going. I mean, he didn't miss any. And I think at least 5 of the 7 were contested. And he even shot some of them off of shot fakes, which is even more impressive. So I got to give hats off to him. I mean, he's 8 for 9, 7 for 7. They made 12 threes, and we're the best in the league at taking away threes. So it just wasn't our night, and clearly it was theirs.
How about the play of Brown off the bench? He seemed to really do a job in the paint.
He did. I thought we did a great job getting them in foul trouble in the first half, which was what we did at their place. We got Venning out early, which is usually a big piece for us. And then he stepped up and he played really tough and physical in the paint. We made some mistakes on some switches and loading on the weak side, so we have to clean some of those things up. But look, they also made all their free throws. They got to the line and they made some free throws. Which is funny because Banks was the one that missed, and he's their best free throw shooter. It's kind of interesting how everything panned out tonight.
Coach, could you talk about specific adjustments you made on Chad Benning, kind of neutralize him down low?
No, we just wanted to take away his left shoulder and be a little bit more physical with him. We blitzed him on the dribble a couple of times, but he did a pretty good job. He was he was efficient for the time that he played, especially in the first half.
Did they do anything that you didn't expect to get Asa open and go in that first half?
Not really. I mean, they just made the right plays. I mean, he made a bunch of shot fakes. We left our feet. I think 1 or 2 of them was in our 1-3-1 defense, which, our low guys flying around. I know a couple of times there were some shot fakes in there. I think we overplayed a few times when we weren't supposed to. We call it reading the chest. We overhelped and left him when he was still on our scouting report. We were still supposed to shut him off and prevent threes and give up tough contested twos. So we just made a few mistakes and left him open a couple times, and he capitalized. And once he got going, then he got one in transition where that one he didn't even look. He just caught and fired. So once he got hot, he was hard to stop. But they didn't really do a whole lot except for I think they ran one of their their flares to repins, which they do, which we were prepared. But he still made it as we came and locked and trailed off the screen. So he just was feeling that he was in one of those zones.
Coach, I know you've talked previously in the past that when your team sees deficits, guys maybe play a little bit too hurried, try and get it back in one
Yeah.
possession. How do you balance that mindset of guys understanding that guys are want to get that lead back,
Yeah.
want to do everything in their power, but also knowing to take it possession by possession and understanding that there's still time on the clock and there's still a lot of game left?
Yeah, we've been down before and fought back and won. We've been down before, fought back and lost close ones. So tonight, though, with more younger guys on the floor for a lot of the time, they tend to get a little sped up, and that's just because they haven't played as much. They're still sophomores, and some of those sophomores are playing major minutes for the first time this year. So the game is not necessarily slowed down for them consistently yet. So I don't fault them. We want them to be aggressive offensively, and we got some great looks. I mean, we scored 40 points in the second half, right? The problem is we gave up 41. So it wasn't necessarily the offensive situation. It was the defense. We couldn't get stops. Especially when we needed. We got a few, got on a run, but then we'd come back and make a mistake and give up a three. And it would just kill the momentum. So we were playing offensively the way we wanted to play in the second half, really fast, speed them up, which is what we did and turned them over. Problem is when they did get their looks, they knocked them down.
We have time for two more.
The struggles here, do you think any part of it is they make that run and the guys go, oh, here we go again? Like, is there a mental part, not just the X's and O's and the basketball part of it?
Yeah, there could definitely be. I mean, there's not a whole lot of X's and O's that I think really came into play too much tonight, although they did do a great job in their matchup zone. So we struggled a few times with looks against that in the first half and turned the ball over a few times, especially when we got it to where we wanted to, was in the paint. But for the most part, I think that is some of it. I think that's some of it, and we got to fight through that. And I think when you have a lot of younger guys playing, it is the letting one mistake turn into two mistakes turn into three, and those are some of the things that we've talked a lot about in some of the games that we struggled with, especially here. We tend not to do that as much on the road for whatever reason. Hopefully, we can have that consistency on the road come 2 days from now.
Last one. Coach, the first half of the past couple games you guys have done a good job at managing your time in the bonus, with the foul advantage and stuff. Are there any adjustments that you guys have made, any focus in terms of staying physical without drawing too many fouls?
Yeah, I mean, we're being physical. We work on being physical with the ball. We understand if we get shots, we're usually a really good offensive rebounding team. I think number one in the league going into tonight. I don't know what we'll be afterwards. We still had 8 offensive rebounds. So we want to be aggressive and make sure that we're really physical in the paint on our drives, on our post-ups, and get shots. And that way we can go offensive rebounds. So it's something we've emphasized in practice a lot through certain drills that we do.
Thank you.
Go Rams.